So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take little tiny pencil strokes. We're not going to do that 1930s eye, right? No. Remember that brow that they were talking about? It was just a nice, beautiful, softly arched, full brow, and that's all we're doing. So relax your forehead. There we go. And I'm using a mechanical pencil. And how do you we'll just all stand and stare at them until they come up, okay? It's a brunette thread, okay? Me too. I'm sharpening in front of my guest because I want to make sure that she can be relaxed and see that the pencil is sharp and sanitized. In my area here, you'll see that I have a lot of product that's off to the side. That's called my supply area. That is product that I might need, but I'm not currently using it on her face. This other area is my working area. That's where everything can be left open, called an SMA. Now, with Paul Mitchell, there are two different, and I don't know if that's been implemented here yet. It has not, my understanding, right? Working area, supply area? No. It was up at the training up in Utah that Bianca went to, so you'll get that information then. So out on the floor, anything that you're using as far as product might be on your supply area. Your tools that you're using for cutting and your clips and those kinds of things would be on your working area, okay? So it's the same setup here. So if you notice the 5-minute mini eye makeover, we would try to lift the eye up. I'm not going to go into that technique. I'm going to use the same technique, but the placement is going to be different. What we want to do with this eye is we want this shape to emulate her eyebrow. So it's going to have a bit more of a downturned kind of feel. So I'm going to use the same brush that I used. I'm going to wipe off with my hand any residual concealer that was on there. I have to have her looking directly at me, but I won't blend it out until I show you the placement. I'm using a soft taupe pencil. It's Brenda Christian pencil. I love these pencils, and they're a soft taupe neutral pencil to emulate what a natural shadow might look like if it were on the eye. Okay? She has shadow, but it's not in the right place. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look directly at my nose, please. Okay. Now I'm moving her eyelid, her eyebrow. Now look down for me, please. And you notice how I will conduct exactly where I want her to look, because she might think looking down means like this, right? So I'm just going to ask her to look down, okay? Look how pretty that brow looks when she's looking down. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my pencil in, and I'm going to follow the shape of the brow. It's nice. Has a nice little, you see how it's parallel to the brow? Look down for them. You see that? No, just with your eyes. I'm holding her chin so she doesn't look all the way down. You see that brown that I put in there? Can you see it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes? No? You can't see it? Come on. Okay. I'm not seeing any reaction.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I can see it.
I see it.
It looks like you just followed the shape of the eyeball underneath.
I'm not following the shape of the eyeball. I'm following the shape of the eyebrow that I just painted on. Okay, turn this way and look down for them. No, not with your head, honey, just with your eyes. Look down. See this shape right here? Now I'm going to blend that down. Okay, have you look down, please? I'm going to lift the eyebrow up so it's taut. Now, I'm a makeup artist. Let's say someone has already prepped the hair. I can't be vice gripping her head, can I? But I need to anchor somehow, because I can't go like this. I'm not anchored. I'm just like a massage therapist. You're not anchored or grounded. So what I'm going to do is I might stick one finger right in there. So when you're doing hair or makeup on the floor, please keep in mind that there's a hairdresser looking over your shoulder going, don't mess with my hair. Because you might not always be the one doing the makeup or the hair, right? You might be just doing the makeup. So now I'm just very softly blending that. The colors that were used in the 1940s were so soft. Now I'm not blending that up because I don't want that taupe color to go all the way up. You see what I'm doing here? what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the warmth from my finger again, and I'm going to go ahead and just marry those two textures together because they both have a creamy viscosity. Do you know what I'm talking about? The texture of the cream of the concealer is the same as the texture of the pencil. They're creamy, and I can just warm them up and pat press those colors together. I don't have to blend them in. Isn't that great? If I was using a powder right now, I would have to, but I don't have to do that with this. If someone has contacts, you want to make sure that what? You check with them first to make sure that if they have contacts so that you're being nice and soft and gentle. Now, where is she? You're duplicating this, right? So
Yep.
you see what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me look. Relax your forehead. See, you always tell when people do that. I just have this client, back in the day we call them clients, and this is in the 80s, start selling. Oh, I'm not doing a commercial, by the way. I just got turned on to this. That's why it looks like this.
Oh, Inglot.
I'm using it for the first time. What?
Inglot?
Inglot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really an incredible line. I'm very, very, very excited about
You're
it.
going to be the
You guys
the
starting to
seller
sell
of
it?
We're gonna. Well, I picked out 2 palettes. I'm gonna start selling it on my website. Yeah, not my website, the Muse website. But here's the cool thing.
Oh.
Oh my God.
So it's not there yet. It will be there.
It will be there very soon.
Inglot, that is cool.
And I picked out these colors. You know that palette I usually use that has the Viseart palette? I took the Viseart palette in and I matched them up. So this is what I'm calling the wedding palette. Okay? Everything on there you'd use for a wedding. And we're also going to use it for a 40s eye. This was the other palette that we're going to have. Just nice, pretty colors. And then I've added one more.
When you have them on your website, will you sell them like these are with those colors on them already?
We're going to sell them just these 3. These are just 3 different shimmers. There's a warm, a cool, and a neutral, and they're fabulous. They're so.
Before Christmas?
Not before Christmas, but. I'm not here to sell anything. You know, I'm sharing with you many things that come from different places. I don't really care what you use, and you know, I love makeup, so I'm going to obviously talk about it. So, and that's why someone asked me, you know, what do I recommend besides MAC? I don't recommend MAC. I don't not recommend MAC either, but I don't recommend MAC only. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you recommend mine?
Well, because, what?
Why wouldn't you recommend mine?
Do you work at MAC?
No, I use it all the time, so.
Okay. Well, because I think that since Estee Slaughter bought them, that they've gone downhill. Estee Slaughter, I said. Estee Lauder purchased MAC many years ago, and then it became a numbers game. So, look down for me. They have great colors, though.
Now what are you doing?
Now I'm just putting a nice, light, kind of taupey color right on the eyelid, and I'm probably going to put a tiny bit of dark brown or gray in there, just to kind of add to it. I'll show you the colors I'm using. I'm not getting a lot of punch with that one, so I'm going down to this one. But I didn't know that. I would never guess. So I'll start light and I'll build on it. Okay? The colors that they used in the 40s were dark browns. I mean, sort of medium browns to grays, and that's really what it was. It was all about the eyelashes, and it was not about tweezed brows. It was about the eyelashes. And what else was it about?
Lipsticks.
What color lips?
Red.
So I'm going to put just a dibby-dab of gray in there. So I went here first, which wasn't a lot of punch, okay? I went a little bit here. I can see it on her eye. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of gray in there now. I went here first. It wasn't much punch, meaning there wasn't much payoff. I didn't see a lot of color, which I don't want to see, a smoky eye. I went a dibby-dab of this. That's a very professional term, and I'm going to put a dibby-dab of the gray, okay? And the rest I'm flickering off on y'all. Just kidding. You have that down, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
What brand of brush are you using?
So this one I'm using is True. Let me look. Look at me. There we go. Oh, that's nice. This one I'm using is True. I like this brush. I'm coming out with my own brush line in March. I use 3 brushes. I use True. I like True. Alphonse designed the True brushes. I use Cosette, which is Rocky Cosette, the purple brush that handles that I use, because they're all vegan, which is great. And then I also use, I've been using prototypes of the brushes that I'm going to be coming out with. So I have it on my palette, a gel liner that is waterproof. And the reason I'm using that is I'm going to go up underneath her waterline. And when I do a gel liner, I usually take a narrow angle brush, and I don't use the square brush. Some people like to use a square brush. I'm going from one side to the other side and trying to make it kind of a real slim point so that I can get that color right next to the lashes. Now the thing about doing the waterline is that mucous membrane that's up underneath where the lashes are. If you get that too close to the eyeball, when you blink, it's going to blink down and end up on your lower membrane. So the goal is to concentrate, even on yourself, pushing it up into the base of the lalushkas versus putting it on the waterline, okay? Do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Okay. Smoky eye, or like my eye today, it's okay if it blinks down, because that's the look. With this look, we don't want to do that. Look down, please. And when I am doing the outside, let me look down, please. There we go.
Do you have any
See,
suggestions?
I'm just lifting up her, I think. Okay, let me have you look down and to the left, please. When I'm doing the inside of the eyeball, I'm going to have her look out that way. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And I can tell when I need to give her a break. Okay, look down and to your right, please. Okay, let me look. You see the difference? Okay.
And then can you look down?
Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this. What was your question? Who had a question? Yes.
What's some of your tricks that you do, like when you're doing that and people have really, really twitchy eyes?
Just what I did. Did you see how I was holding her lid? So she's trying to blink like this. She's trying to blink. She's blinking like this, and I'm holding this eyelid so she can't really blink with that eye. You have to have control of it.
Like the area that you did.
No, not at all. I can totally touch this. If you know it's good product, it's not going to come off. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of that, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the top side of the lashes. Look down, please. And what I'm going to do is just lay that right next to the base of the lashes. I'm not doing a line, because if you try to do, look down and to your left, please. What do you think about my left here? I'm not trying to, and she's a little twitchy. She's probably from all these people staring at her. She's not twitchy, I'm just giving her a hard time. Let me look here. You're not twitchy at all. Look down at me, please. If we were to go ahead and draw a line here, what would happen is you would have a liner look. If you look at the 40s, it was about, let me look, it was about the mascara.
So if you want to enhance your mascara, this is a good technique.
This is what you want to do, absolutely. Excuse me. What you'll need to do when you get ready to do this, you'll need to get new, because this is going to dry out, okay?
Is that liner on Muse Beauty as well?
That liner is on Muse Beauty. This is Noir. It's a little tiny company out of Canada. I really like it. They have a liquid liner that I really like too, but we're not using liquid liner at all tonight. Now, I'm going to go ahead and curl her lashes. Look down for me, please. I'm going to look down, straight down, look down right here. There we go. Just with your eyes, not with your head. Tip up. And look down, just with your eyes. Perfect. Thank you. I don't have your eyelid, do I, in there? No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, look. Ooh, baby, look at you. Now, I'm gonna have you hold this, please. I'm gonna go ahead. No.
I couldn't help myself. He said it was so good.
I have a quick question. I just
I'm
thought-
using mascara. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. When you were curling the lashes, were you like clamping it, or you were just holding it?
I was pulsing it.
Pulsing it?
Uh-huh. Now, some people will pulse and then go out, pulse and go out. I find that a little like, I don't know if it makes that much difference, really. All I care about is those Volushkas are up at full attention. You know, if you work your way out, I usually just pulse. I'll clamp it in, and then I'll lift my hand up this way and pulse it 10 times. Yes?
In the same spot?
Yes.
What have you found is a good technique for eyelash curling? Because I know a lot of people pinch people.
I asked her, first of all, what I did, the question is, what's a good technique for not pinching people? To answer your question, get back to her, the longer the eyelashes, if the eyelashes are really long, you have to walk your way out. Okay? You have to squeeze and then walk out and squeeze and walk out. Otherwise, you're going to have them sticking straight up like this. But most people don't have that problem. Very few people have that problem. To answer your question, and just know something, you guys, this is one person's opinion. There's a million makeup artists that'll come in here. You've got to listen to everybody. You know, this isn't the right way. This is just the way I do it. It works for me. Does that make sense? Okay, to answer your question, so you don't pinch someone, it's very easy. First of all, let me explain what I'm doing. I'm taking mascara out of a tube, which is what I like to use, instead of a thing, you know. Yeah, and then I'm using a fan brush, so that's the way I'm going to do the lashes. When you're putting in the lash curler, I lift, look down. I lift up the eyelid, so any of that loose skin that might be sitting there is not sitting right next to her lashes. So I'm stretching that skin just slightly. I put it in, and then I'll squeeze just lightly, and I'll say, I asked her, do I have your lid? And she'll know if I have it or not, and if I don't, she says no, and so then I squeeze down and then do my pulsing. Okay?
What do you think? I have some like friends who will like take a lighter and heat up their eyelash curler. What do you think about that?
A lot of people do that. I don't really.
Is that bad for it though, or?
No, it's not bad. No, people will do the same thing with the blow dryer, you know. They'll try to heat up their curling iron, or their little thing with the blow dryer. Because some people think that if it's hotter, it's going to curl easier. I'd rather use a product that's going to help keep it up there as opposed to putting, because sometimes if you have a hot tool and you put that on the eyelid, sometimes that can also be too warm on a sensitive little eye.
Exactly.
Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm just taking mascara. I'm really working right on her eyebrow right now, like my hand is, so I'm not really, you know, if you have good product, you don't have to worry about it coming off on your hand, for sure. Look down and to your left, please. So this is a very simple eye. What, again, is going to make this are her brows, the flawless foundation, and her red lips. Let me look. See that eye? No. When you turn, go back like this, just turn your body so they can see, because when you turn sideways, it kind of gives a different look. You see that? Now, she has just a little tiny bit of blink down from the, look up for me, please, from that liner.